因为可能中国这36年来，因为这9天，中国人的生活发生了翻天覆地的变化。
Because during the past 36 years, and all due to the nine-day visit from Deng Xiaoping in America, the life of people in China has changed a lot.
今天就是在 USC 有那么多的年轻的中国面孔，就说明了问题。
Even we have a lot of Chinese students nowadays at USC, that can be something you can see from the visit of Deng Xiaoping.
因为他们要花很多钱才能来到这里。
Because they have to spend a lot on this school to come here.
但是他们是没钱的，他们爸爸妈妈是因为邓小平的改革开放，使他们的 money a lot of.
Because they cannot afford it by themselves, but their parents get the benefit from the reform and open policy in China, so they got the money to support their children to come to the States to study here.
所以绝大部分的中国人，因为他们36年来一直在往前走，突然他们在电影院看到了，我们今天的生活是因为这9天，所以很多看到的人他们很感动。
So during the past 36 years, a lot of Chinese people are just keep moving forward. But nowadays, when they're sitting in the theater and watching the movie, they got a moment to retrace back to the days happened before.
大家对于中国人来说，他们这些东西以前没见过。
For Chinese, they probably have never seen those things before. The protestings and demonstrations.
中国的电视台只给他们看，香槟、白宫的宴会，友好的一面。
For the Chinese television, they would just present the champagne and the White House and the banqueting White House to the audience in China.
但是36年前，中美两国能够结婚，能够走到一块儿，是非常不容易的一件事情。麻烦非常多，但是很多民众他不知道有那么多的麻烦。
Back to that time, if you want to get married with an American citizen, if you're a Chinese citizen, there are a lot of troubles and the problems you have to deal with, but people probably won't know that.
邓小平当年来美国，他是冒着危险的，这个危险有政治上的风险，因为跟美帝国主义，以前的敌人结婚好，这是他政治上的风险。另外还有一个他生命的风险，是因为情报部门得到情报说有人要杀他。
So Deng Xiaoping was actually taking risks to come to U.S. Either on the political side or on the security side. For the political side, he was coming here to kind of like get married with his enemy. So the political party, the political opponents would criticize on him about that. On the security side, there could something happen in America, and he cannot tell back to that time.
我试图从36年以后来想今天中美关系会是什么样。
I'm trying to think about the U.S.-China relations, current U.S.-China relations on the point in the future, from the future.
对，就是如果到了2052年
，it means if it is the 2052,
这个世界是什么样？
what would the world be?
我在想这个事儿。
I'm thinking about this issue.
我不知道会是什么样。
I don't really know what would happen.
但是我知道，36年前发生了一些故事，影响到今天了。
But I know the stories happened 36 years ago really affected the current issues right now.
未来的中美关系我们只能猜测。
We can only anticipate the relationship between U.S. and China in the future.
但是在历史里面，总是会有一些深刻的含义。
But there is something we can look on in the history.
可能历史有一副能看得很远的眼睛。
Maybe history will tell us something in the future.
所以我愿意讲一个历史故事。
I would like to tell a story in the history from the history.
因为篇幅有限，当时有人也跟我说过这样的问题，希望有中国当时很贫穷落后的一面的镜头能够用在这个影片里面。
We have only limited time for this film. Even somebody suggested me before we should include the footage about the China in 1980s, but because of the time limited, we cannot include everything.
About the backwardness of that time.
但是我想，我不想对比，就是我不想做简单的对比。我想可能36年前的中国人的生活状态都写在了他们脸上。
I don't really want to compare the before and now simply because you can tell the life of the Chinese people back to that time on their face, on their emotions.
当然有一个小故事是邓小平在纽约见了基辛格以后回中国。当时中美两国是不通航的，邓小平是从巴黎回的中国，他把国家给他的零花钱买了200个牛角包，然后带回中国，给了周恩来，给了蔡畅，他们当时来法国留学的那些同事，因为很穷，连这些领导人都吃不到这个羊角面包。
There's a small story. Deng Xiaoping, because of back to that time, we don't have the direct flight from U.S. to China. So when he went back to China, he actually took a detour from U.S. to France and back to China, and he spent $200 to buy some croissants and brought them back to China for his colleagues back when he was studying in France. Because even the leaders in China, they probably cannot afford the croissants in China. Back to that time.
但是如果这样拍的话呢，很多年轻人就不愿意进电影院来看这个电影了。
But if we're telling the story in this way, maybe some younger generations in China they won't go inside the theater and watch this movie.
他们认为我在教训他们。
Because they think we are criticizing them.
所以我为了吸引年轻人能进到电影院里面，进到剧院里面来看这个电影，我就用一个刺杀的故事来包装它，使年轻人能进来看。
So in order to draw the attention from the younger generations in China, I have to tell the story by including the assassination story to draw their attention and get them in the theater.
希望用这样的一个故事去吸引年轻人自己去了解那段历史。
So I hope this film can inspire them to study the history by themselves instead of telling them every details of the history.
谢谢你的这个问题，是这实际上是对我来说是一个可能更重要，因为拍电影最大的问题是钱。
So thank you for this question. It's very important to me because shooting a movie is all about money.
大概这个影片的整个的预算是300多万美金。
So the budget of this film is about $3 million.
当然现在在中国大陆的在电影院的剧院的票房，也收入了300万美金。
But back in China, in mainland China, the box office in China is pretty good. We already earned about $3 million at this moment.
但是因为这个300万美金要分给很多人， 所以分到我兜里大概不到100万美金。
So I have to distribute the profits to different people. So I probably only get 1 million.
所以目前我还赔着钱呢。
So far I'm still on debts.
但是我自己去找钱的目的是希望我的拍片不受控制。
The purpose for me to seek for the private funding is trying to get away from the controlling.
因为给我钱的人都不管我，如果他要管我，我不要他的钱。
Because people who sponsored me, they doesn't really control my production. If they want to control my production, I probably don't want their money.
中国所有的电影都要经过审查，这个电影也不例外。对，你可以想。
Yeah. So in China, every movie has to go through the censorship. So this movie is not exceptional.
审查也有一些对影片也做了一些修改，但是我能接受的是没有伤到最根本的东西。
We have edited some part of the film after this censoring, but I think we didn't change the core of the film.
官方的回应，他们觉得，我讲的历史是真实的，这段历史都是由当事人来讲的，他挑不出任何的毛病。
For the governments and the officials, they think all the things I told in this movie were true, so they don't really pick on those details.
所以他发给我许可证，说你可以进电影院了。
So they gave me the permission to put it in the theaters.
这也是这个问题也是我想的问题，所以，这个问题我试图要来，解答这样的问题，是未来的中美关系会对世界产生什么样的影响？因为，中美关系会影响到这个世界的所有人会过什么样的日子？
So this is also a question for myself because I'm also thinking about how to solve the problem between the U.S.-China relations. The bilateral relationship between U.S. and China is critical to everybody's life in the world.
中美现在经常吵架。
U.S. and China has a lot of fights during recent years.
有的时候吵得还很厉害。
Sometimes we have a very serious fight.
那面临一个问题，就像夫妻吵得很厉害的时候，有的要选择离婚。
So it's just like a couple. When you fought so severely, some couples would choose to divorce.
那么中国和美国有没有勇气离婚？
But I'm thinking about if China and the U.S. have the courage to divorce.
那我想，可能习近平和奥巴马都不想离婚。
Maybe President Xi and Obama probably they don't want divorce and end the relationship.
那么好，既然不想离婚，就想一想，当年卡特和邓小平结婚的时候，是为什么结婚？
So if you don't want to divorce, why don't we just look back at the moment when Deng Xiaoping came to the States and get married with the U.S. with Carter, with President Carter.
和度蜜月的时候的那些甜蜜。
And what was the good moment they had during the 9 days, which is like a honeymoon for them.
等于这9天是一个蜜月。
So the 9-day visit was kind of like a honeymoon for Deng Xiaoping and President Carter, and the U.S. and China.
因为他们知道，尽管中国跟美国是完全不同的2个国家，太不同了。
Because they all know that U.S. and China are totally two different countries in many perspectives.
那为什么这么两个不同的国家能建立外交关系？通俗一点讲，我们就他们俩能结婚，是为什么？
So we are thinking about how can those two different countries with different cultures can establish the diplomatic relationship between each other. It's like how can they get married with each other?
可能说的小一点，是为了各自的国家利益。邓小平为了他的国家，卡特为了他的国家。
So if we narrow it down a bit, it's more like they're getting together for their own benefits for their countries and people.
如果把他们说的大一点，如果是政治家，可能政治家跟政客有区别。
So if we're talking about on a broader level, it's about politicians, and politicians is kind of, I don't really know. Statement, yeah.
他除了考虑眼前的事儿或者身边的事儿以外，他可能还考虑未来的事儿。
Except for the things they're thinking about, the current things, they are looking forward about the future.
所以我想，有一些政治家他们想问题比较远。
Some politicians, they're thinking way beyond others.
那我采访卡特总统，我问他，我说，你有没有想过，如果当时不跟中国建交，会怎么样？
I asked former President Carter during the interview, what if we didn't establish the relationship with China back to that time? What would happen?
总统回答我说，会比现在更糟糕。
It would only get worse, he replied to me.
我个人的兴趣是在中国的领袖，中国的领导人和这个世界的关系。
My personal interest is about the relationship between the Chinese leaders and the rest of the world.
因为我个人觉得未来的世界是离不开中国和美国的合作。
Because in the future, the world can have to rely on the U.S.-China relation and the cooperation.
这种合作是应该有一种历史的胸怀。
These kind of cooperations, they have to look back on the history and learn something from the history.
所以，我还没有最后决定是拍什么样的电影，但是可能会朝那个方向去努力。
I haven't decided to shoot what kind of film for my next film, but I want to keep on working on this direction about the Chinese leader and the relationship between them and the rest of the world.